Well, good evening. Thank you for coming out tonight. Really appreciate you coming out to support the performing arts. On behalf of the College of Menominee Nation, the Oneida Arts Program, the Wisconsin Art Board, I want to thank you for coming again. As you probably know, if you had a chance to read our program, which I personally think is amazing, it talks a little bit about how we wrote the play, and it's a collaborative effort and a playwriting course in the spring. The script is then handed to the students in the summer, and they produce the show from that. So, that being said, most of them know, some of them maybe not, but if I have any other writers in the crowd, and I think there's 3 out of the 5 made it tonight, if I can have you stand up, we know who to blame then. If that, but let's applaud. Thank you. I don't know if any of you are writers out there, but it's a very solitary effort. You spend a lot of time alone, and very rarely do people applaud your works, and so at the end, of course, we'll think that some of it's for the writers, but thank them all for coming. One of them's in China, and the other was here last night. So anyway. At this time, I would like to ask you all to turn off your cell phones or anything that would make some noise. And afterwards, if you didn't already hear, we're having a reception in the kitchen area. Of course, we have cake and punch. You'll have an opportunity to talk to all the cast and crew. It should be a good time. Thanks again for coming on out, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Going on. Nobody ever wants to get in this heat this early. Jimmer, grab the back.
Settle down. That might be a customer. So you get the door, I'll get the music. Don't forget to smile either.
Don't forget to smile.
Who's that knocking on my door? Oh, it's you.
Tracy, it's so nice that our brother allows you to open the door all by yourself. Just think about it. In a few years, you might actually get to talk to customers.
Oh, yeah, nice to see the asylum gave you a day pass.
Hilarious. Now I need to talk to our brother, your boss. So why don't you go be a good sister and get us some coffee? One with 2 creams and no sugar.
It's half-sister to you, and don't forget it. 2 coffees, 1 with half-sister spit. Got it.
Ellen, first, why didn't you ask me for permission before you wrote a story about the wampum belt I found in the trunk? Second, how the heck did you let the Press Gazette let you publish a story? I mean, I appreciate the extra business and all, but did you have to go and tell the whole world about it? Might as well have said I have a huge pile of gold in the store and no locks on the doors. Now I'm going to have every wacko nut job from here to Neopet hanging on my front doorstep.
It's still here, right? You haven't sold it yet, have you?
No, I haven't sold it yet. I have an appraiser coming over today from the Smithsonian to have a look-see. They seem to think it might be worth more than 20 grand.
It's worth more than that. The New York Times ran an article in yesterday's paper, and they sent me here to write a follow-up. Can't you believe it? The New York Times? If this goes well, I could be done editing the obituaries for the Press Gazette forever.
All right, coffee's ready. 1 for Jimmer and 1 for me.
Wow, that's awesome, Helen. What do you need for the story?
What's awesome? What did I miss?
The New York Times wants your sister to write a follow-up story on the wampum belt I found in the trunk. Can you believe it, Tracy?
Remember, she's just a half-sister, and she's probably hallucinating again. Helen, how many times do I have to tell you to stop sniffing the glue?
Listen, Shocker, why don't you go clean the toilets and let the adults talk? So tell me again how you found the trunk. Do not leave out any details.
All right. Like I said, about a week ago, someone had left a huge pile of junk outside the front door. It took me over a week to go through these items, but once I finally pried open that old steamer trunk, it was worth my time. Inside was old raised beadwork, beaver pelts, cornhusk dolls, rattles, and the wampum belt in an old leather bag. Called up the Historical Society. They sent over a lady that said that many of these items are common, except for that wampum belt. They tried to buy it from me, but that's when I decided to call the Smithsonian and get a second opinion.
You mean I called the Smithsonian? You were ready to trade for $10 and some Tic Tacs.
Fine. We both agreed that it was worth more than what the Historical Society was offering.
Jimmer, the bell rang and the shop girl didn't greet the customer. Looks like you had to take her to obedience class again.
Pardon me, can I help you find anything in particular?
I'm just admiring the wampum belts.
She doesn't look like she has any money to spend in here anyways.
Hey, that's that girl from the Historical Society, Desiree something. Danforth, I think. She's the one that offered me 20 grand. I better go talk to her.
Hello, Earth to Jimmer. Why don't you think with your head, not your...
Hey! I'm just trying to please my customer by offering excellent service, so if you'd excuse me.
It's our customer. Now sit down, stop drooling, and wait for the Smithsonian appraiser before you make any rash decisions.
I'm gonna get a quote from the Hysterical Society for the Times. Tracy, be sure to watch and learn how a professional conducts business.
It doesn't take a genius to write down what somebody else says. If you ask me, you're nothing more than a poorly trained parrot.
Excuse me, you must be Desiree, the nice shopkeeper and the trained monkey he has for assistants. Tell me you work for the Oneida Hysterical Society. My name is Helen Hawk and I'm a reporter for the New York Times. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the mysterious wampum belt.
I love the New York Times. How long have you worked for the paper?
I'll be the one asking you questions if you don't mind. So, how did the Oneida Hysterical Society arrive at the proposed $20,000 for the wampum belt?
What she meant to say is, why are you trying to lowball us?
Hey, Desiree, would you like some stuff? I have stuff that I could give you, like, you know, coffee or whatever.
Pardon me, but we're conducting an official New York Times interview.
Oh, my mistake. I thought you were the Helen Hawk who edits the obituaries for the Press Gazette. I thought you might be lost or confused or something, since you're trying to interview somebody who's still breathing.
I'll take a cup of coffee, James.
James? You mean Jimmer? Nobody's ever called you James since that one bimbo from Flambeau. No, with the iPad?
All right, one coffee coming up.
Let's start over. What can you tell me about the wampum belt?
Well, I'm trying not to get too excited, but I believe the wampum belt is the actual Oneida travel belt entrusted to the care of Chief Elijah Skenador in the 1830s. He brought the wampum belt, 7 original treaties, and a silver pipe to Wisconsin. At that time, Oneida land was dwindling in New York State, and land base acquired in Wisconsin through treaties was in dispute. So Elijah faithfully honored his responsibility as wampum keeper and brought the belts and treaties to Wisconsin for the good of the Oneida people.
See, that's why it's worth more than 20 grand.
It's funny you should say that, because Elijah refused offers from several collectors, saying he wouldn't sell the belt for any amount of money. But 1 year after Elijah's death in 1898, his grandson sold the belt to a collector named Walter Wyman. It was supposed to be passed down to the next chief, elected after Elijah's death, but instead it wound up in a field museum in Chicago.
So this belt was stolen from the museum? I can see the New York front page headline now. Stolen Oneida relic found in antique shop by Helen Joyce Hawk, reporter at large.
I got the at large part right.
The Field Museum in Chicago still has their belt. Rumor has it was just a replica created by Elijah's grandson. And rumor is that it was sold to Walter Wyman to get him to stop harassing us about selling our belts. I must admit it, I didn't believe the rumor before, but now I'm convinced that you have the real belts.
Hey, Desiree, I have your coffee. Black, right?
Actually, I'd like cream and sugar if you have it.
We have that. That'll be $10.
Cream and sugar. Got it. Be right back.
If what you say is true, I could win a Pulitzer Prize. Pinch me, I must be dreaming.
Gladly.
Ow, it was just an expression.
Have you managed to see the wampum belt that belongs to the Oneida people of New York?
Listen, I don't know who you are or what your business is here, but if you want that belt, you better have $1 million in the bank and your checkbook ready.
On behalf of the people of New York, I demand to see that wampum belt.
If you think you can walk up in here and demand anything, then you have a whole lot of trouble coming your way, shorty.
The belt is a spiritual item that cannot be bought. You would be wise to give it to me for no cost.
Here's your cream and sugar. Sugar.
You know, I'm beginning to see myself as an antique shop owner who serves me coffee with all the trimmings.
Oh, great. Another gold digger.
Why is it so hard to believe someone would be interested in our brother?
Because he looks like you. I, on the other hand, look like an Indian princess.
Excuse me, my good man. My name is Dr. Professor Calvin Leopold Whitaker IV, Esquire. And I understand that you have an artifact here of incredible age and cultural significance.
Great, I told you I was gonna have every wacko and nut job creeping around this shop.
I beg your pardon? What did you say? Nut job? Wacko? Who told you that? Never mind. Washington, D.C. I was sent here by my superiors, colleagues, to infiltrate the shop, gather as much intel as I can, bring the artifact back to base for immediate analysis without collateral damage or any unnecessary civilian casualties.
What the heck are you talking about? Are you on drugs or something?
No, not since college. Sorry if I alarmed you. Sometimes when I get excited, I become dizzy and say things that don't really make much sense.
Whatever, man. Are you the guy from the Institute or what? Let me see some credentials. Calvin, that is your real name.
That's Dr. Professor Calvin Leopold Whitaker IV, Gentleman and Scholar Esquire, to you, bucko. Are you truly implying that I'm not who I say I am? This is completely poppycock. Balderdash. What an outrageous accusation. It is absolutely absurd in the most intriguing fashion that makes a grin begin to appear on my face. And I lose myself in the stupendous, wondrous, mind-boggling, limitless possibilities of being someone else. And knowing and believing that you really are, and don't even know it. Oh, to answer your question, I do have proof.
Land it over there, horse.
What do you want? Driver's license, birth certificate, passport, college degree, social security card, dental records, Victoria's Secret credit card. On second thought, I think I'm going to keep that.
Are you sure you're not from the Brown County Mental Facility?
Where are you getting this information? Is nothing classified anymore? A guy tries to bring a donkey on a Vatican tour one time in college and they throw the book at him.
Whatever. I just need an ID saying that you're indeed from the Smithsonian.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
There you go, Chief.
It doesn't matter what kind of ID this school gives you, I wouldn't trust them. Helen, why don't you check and check out this crazy? Make sure you're not thinking sparklers or something.
I tried that once, but I found there are easier ways to style one's chest hairs.
Now, who is this clown?
Hi, I'm Ken Shaw from Oneida Security. I'm here to tell you about an unbelievable offer for the security system of the century. Soon you can rest assured knowing that your valuables are being watched 24/7 by trained professionals in secluded rooms in the outermost regions of India.
You better have an ID, and it better not be out of a Cracker Jack box.
Sure. Don't try to keep it. It's probably the sexiest picture you've ever seen.
Take it back. Your picture's making me eyes bleed.
All right, I'm listening. Let's head back to my office. You can tell me more about the security system.
I understand, sir. We all have to make sacrifices to 2.5 going on and everything. Wait a minute, did you say you were willing violence?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's head back to your office.
Jimmer, you don't have to buy everything anyone tries to sell you. That's why we have a basement full of Girl Scout cookies.
I'm sorry, did you say you were a doctor or a professor?
Weren't you listening? I'm both. I have my BA from Harvard, PhD from Cambridge, and KFC's original recipe in my back pocket. Don't tell me I have to be one or the other. I'm the one with the degrees here.
Well, my name is Helen Hawk and I'm writing a feature story for the New York Times. I just want to make sure I have your name correct for the quote.
A quote, you say? Well, you better get this down because I'm only going to say it once. The belt is an object of incredible intrigue. It must be released to me with most haste. Thousands and thousands of lives are in moral peril unless the belt can be properly deciphered and locked away in a secured facility. If we don't act quickly, it could spell certain doom for the entire civilized world. After all, we don't want a band of hungry Nazi zombie hippos roaming the streets, do we? I didn't think so.
You're all squandering my time by holding my people's belt captive. No good can come from this.
I don't believe we've met. My name is Desiree Danforth from the Historical Society. I'm just wondering if you have any proof of ownership of